everybody. I'm here with David Copperfield. You're a local boy. You're from
New Jersey.
You're from New Jersey.
A touch of New Jersey.
Ah.
Exit 10.
I understand you actually you taught at NYU when you were 16. Is that right?
I was younger than all the rest of the kids in the class. I mean, I was teaching kids older, and I was very, very nervous. It's very scary for a New Jersey boy to come to New York at 16 to teach a class at NYU. And I walked into the wrong classroom the first day, and I started teaching the wrong class, magic. And they didn't stop me. I started teaching them deception and fooling people, and they let me keep going, and it turned out to be a political science class.
They were like, keep it coming, that's all right. This will work. And you got started in illusions very young, is that right?
I was about 10 years old.
And I understand you bought your first trick at Macy's, or you went to Macy's and that's where you purchased.
Why is that funny?
I don't know. I didn't laugh. They laughed. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
Because they work for gimbals, I think.
Yeah, gimbals.
Yeah, actually, something really amazing happened last year. There was a guy that, when I was a little kid, I went to Macy's, and there was a little counter, and he would do this little trick with a board and a coin, and the coin would disappear on this board. It was a really amazing thing for this guy. A very simple trick, but the coin would slowly disappear, and it was all he did was this one little trick. And it was almost like a ballet that he would do with his hands and the coin disappearing. And he'd sell 1 million of these little boards, and you buy this thing, and of course you couldn't do it as good as this guy, because that's all he did. But I bought one, and I practiced for a long time, and I never really mastered it quite right. But years later, I'm in Rochester, New York, and I'm signing autographs, and this little old man, little crumpled old man comes up to me, and he says, "Do you remember me?" And this is like 25 years later. And he said, of course I remember, this is the guy that sold me this first trick. And I said to him, "You gotta come, I want to introduce you to all my crew." And I brought him backstage, and I took him back and introduced him to my whole crew. We were all eating dinner. And he says, "You know, do you mind if I show my trick?" And he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out this little old board, probably the same one he used for all the years that he did this his whole life. And he does this board, this thing, the coin disappeared. It's just really impeccably beautiful, like Fred Astaire, just beautiful moves and so forth. And he finished doing the thing, everybody applauded, it was really wonderful to watch. And we said, "Please come have dinner with us. That was wonderful. You know, this is the guy that taught me my first trick, or sold me my first trick." And he said, "No thanks, I don't have dinner, I just wanted to show you my little trick." And he goes walking off into the distance like Charlie Chaplin, away, putting his board into his pocket, and we all stood there and like,
wow.
It was like, it was
That's
amazing.
so weird. It's like, and then you go outside and there's no one there, you know, and it's like, it is like one of those
moment for me.
No, it's a nice story, but that's sort of, it has that kind of feel to it.
It's a little Twilight Zone kind of
right. Like, he couldn't have gotten here. The bridge has been out for over an hour, you know.
Right.
But then who is he if I was...
And he passed away last year.
That man's been dead for 20 years.